Hello random person, Sab Nino here. Welcome to, I guess, the first Sab Merch Odyssey bonus. I actually tackled these sets before in a video where I built them with my friends, and I do highly encourage people to watch that video because it is a lot of fun. But unfortunately, due to our phone qualities, it came out really blurry and we weren't able to showcase the detail of the product to their fullest potential. Plus, I didn't have any opportunity to give like an in-depth review even though I tried. So I wanted to make a part 2 to that video, just giving an in-depth review of these products, showing the details in full. Hopefully the quality isn't as blurry. So yeah, let's get into it. Oh, and before I forget, this video is sponsored by Barweer, and they sent me the sticker. This is the part where I put in the sponsor segment. Let's face it, as much as LEGO is cool to build, sometimes it's either out of our price range or are missing key brands that you might be interested in. For me, Spongebob has been lacking in the LEGO space, so imagine my surprise that this website has just about every good Spongebob brand under its branch. Don't like Spongebob? No problem, because it has other cool stuff too, from movies to anime. It even has different building methods such as micro bricks and Technic. These sets come from all over the world, so some warehouses provide special deals. From the US, the EU, and the one currently having special deals, China. Plus, if you want an even better discount on items and want to support the channel, use the promo code SABNINO to get 14% off on certain items. As someone who loves showcasing niche and obscure merchandise on the channel, having Barweer as a sponsor is a great way to do just that. Thank you for listening, and now back to the video. First off, you get this card of authenticity. It says bubble time. This is what the back looks like. And I like the color of the card too. Here's the front of the instructions, I believe, and here's all the products they're selling. And most of these you can get on the Barweer website. I really need to get Bubble Dreams. I reviewed these on the channel before. I reviewed all of these, and this was before they released Squidward's House, which I do plan on getting eventually. One issue we had with the instructions is that due to how unique a lot of the piece colors are, sometimes they don't show up as they do in the instructions. Like, the printing can be a little off. It is very easy to figure out, at least it was to me, but I hope they fix that eventually, if they can. Anyway, on to the set. First off, let's go over the SpongeBob and Gary minifigures. Unfortunately, they are duplicates from a previous set, with both of them being from the Good Friends Pineapple. No, not the big pineapple set, but the smaller display build. So I wish they had a different face. Like, it still works, but I do really like variety. But as I mentioned in the previous video, these are original builds that have never been shown in the show. And I think they are more like abstract pieces that are meant to reflect the characters, because there are a lot of details that reflect who the characters are. Like this whole section, like being his pants, it almost reminds me of the SpongeBob musical. Subtle things like the fact that SpongeBob is a gardener. We have details like the imagination box and the pineapple walkway. We have a bubble wand, a jellyfish net with a jellyfish, a bunch of sea stars, probably to represent Patrick. And this is called Bubble House. As I mentioned in the video, but it was hard to showcase because of how blurry it was. This looks like SpongeBob's chimney, and I like that detail. This is the interior. It's kind of bare bones, but it works. I like how all of the floors in the set have this checkered pattern. For goods, we have this oyster drink and this flower thing. I don't know exactly what these are. There is a Krusty Krab sign, which kind of confused me, because if this is meant to be his own shop, does that mean Mr. Krabs gave him the rights to use his products? I feel like Mr. Krabs is too cheap for that. Oh, also you can spin this, and it shows like this alarm clock drink, I think. The top is pretty small, so I'm guessing it's not his actual alarm clock. They have made a more accurate alarm clock in some previous sets, mainly the big and small pineapple. Also, I struggled a bit with the sticker. As you can see over here, it sort of fell apart on me. There's this smile sign, which I think is a really nice detail. Although it perfectly encapsulates SpongeBob as a character, I will say the theming of the shop itself isn't as strong, because personally I'm having a hard time figuring out what kind of shop is this. Is it a shop that sells bubbles? Is it a shop that sells drinks? I don't know. It's confusing, but it's still a cute display piece, and I highly doubt you were supposed to think about that too hard to begin with. Next up is Patrick Star with Sweet Star Dreams. These cards are really well done. The instructions have the same things inside of them, so I won't showcase the insides, but here's how the instructions look from front to back. And here's the Patrick build. Thankfully, unlike SpongeBob, this build for Patrick is original, though I don't like the obvious seam here. It's kind of hard to see, but there is a seam in between the face, which is odd because typically there's not one there, unless there's something that was messed up on my end. But since this is an ice cream shop, of course he has ice cream on his face. I wouldn't expect anything less. But the theming of the set is definitely a lot more apparent than SpongeBob's. You know right away that it's an ice cream shop. I really like the colors in this set. Honestly, I have always loved Patrick's color palette. And there's like little details that reflect Patrick, like a fire hydrant. There's a donut. There's Patrick's rock antenna. One cool detail is that there's this little dome with a TV and couch, which almost looks like his rock. And one thing I know we pointed out in the video is this triple gooberberry sunrise. Throughout the original video, we were trying to fit these two pieces together until we eventually realized that this is meant to be a squished ice cream cone, which is cute. Also, I'm not sure what this is meant to be. I'm just gonna be honest. Patrick's is very simple, but it's very effective. Next up is Squidward Tentacles. His is called Rhythm Dance. Even though I think this looks good, I wish they used more images of Squidward, because it's just the one image. And this is the same image on the instructions as well, so I wish there was more variety there. Squidward is a new original torso and face. The one thing that is really starting to bother me with the Area X line is Squidward's head build, because his sculpt is permanently frowning, but you could tell that they are trying to make him smile. So why not give us a smile headpiece? Or make it a more neutral expression like Mega Bloks did, because this is something that's unfortunately probably gonna always throw me off whenever I look at the Squidward build. But I do encourage them to make more expressions with these characters. First off, out of all the builds, the roof is honestly the best in this set, because it's not as cluttered. It's very organized. It has music notes, it has a music sheet, and it has a clarinet, and the color palette is very Squidward. This painting is a nice detail, because I feel like if Squidward did run his own shop, he would showcase his art. Even the greenery is color-coded. I actually have to lift up the roof for this. And on the inside, we have Squidward's record player. We have these drapes, which almost look like bow ties. And we have the shelf with a saxophone. I wish that was a clarinet though. Why are these sets so afraid of a clarinet build? Well, I mean like a minifigure scale clarinet build. I'm assuming that'll change with the Squidward house set. This build is very simple, even simpler than the Patrick one, but I like it. I like the more organized look. It reflects Squidward as a character a lot better. And just like Patrick, I really like the colors of this one. Now on to our last character. Here's Mr. Eugene Krabs. The person who was opening the set in the original video, Sika, discovered Mr. Krabs' full name via this card, and I honestly think that's funny. And his card says rolling in money, of course. I wish they picked a different image here on the instructions or on the card, especially since this one is kind of overused. It's so overused, in fact, that it made it into the actual show. The back of it has a new piece of art, though. Mr. Krabs' minifigure is really creative. I really like it. It's a lot more expressive, with the money sign in his eyes. The small mouth is kind of creepy, but it makes sense, but I still give them points for a new expression, and I absolutely love the money in his pants. I had this issue in the Good Friends line, but I wish there was a way to cover up this red spot, like in the eyes. Like SpongeBob's sleeves, they should separate the eye stalks and like a separate green thing. But Mr. Krabs has a pawn shop, which is a cute idea. And I'm surprised Mr. Krabs hasn't tried running a pawn shop. Oh, and unlike the other ones, this one has like a play feature where you take out a treasure chest. Let's see what's inside. A spare piece, a diamond, a crown, and a piece of gold. Hey, I think it's a cute idea. There's like knickknacks. Almost reminds me of the anchor set. There's a shop rules here. There's a life preserver, a trash bag. There's a blue crab here. That's kind of morbid. And a seashell and an oyster. I like the flags. They are reused from the Krusty Krab. They're just much smaller. The treasure chest is interesting because it's like, there's like a rubber band attached to it. Also, I have no idea what this is. I'm guessing a bell. Also, is this meant to be the front of the treasure chest? Because otherwise I don't know what this is meant to be. And it's very far away from what's in here. There's also these little money things. I don't understand what these are. Because even though I know what it is, it kind of has like a reverse problem to SpongeBob where even though I know what it is, it's not really themed to Mr. Krabs. Even though they've really tried to. So final verdict. These are cute. Not all of them landed for me, but I'm grateful they're experimenting. And I hope we get more of these in the future. Maybe not these exact builds, but I would love to see some more original concepts for builds that aren't just locales from the show. So the concession stands have been reviewed. Now let's take a look at the delicacy delivery box. Unfortunately, this isn't a blind bag opening because all of these have been opened. But if you want to see our blind reactions with me and my friends, then check out the previous video that we've done on these sets. It is a lot of fun. Let's see who the first one is. The first one is Sandy. I like how they open up like this. Sandy's sticker is very simple but very effective. There's a minifigure here. I need to look for it. I'm pretty sure Sandy's face is new. I personally haven't seen this one. Spoiler alert, new faces aren't gonna be common in this. But this is the Sandy Cowboy Nut Taco set. It says, let's catch up, and this just has the logo on it. And the menu basically says a nutty taco and a nut drink for $3 and $1.25 respectively. The taco itself is a cute build. I never would have associated taco with Sandy, but you know, it makes a lot of sense. I like the leaf pieces for lettuce, and I'm guessing the sausage pieces is meant to be cheese, which is interesting piece usage. Not sure what the transparent orange stuff is though. Oh, I also like the cowboy hat and how the other face is winking. Honestly, there's not much to say on the Sandy taco. It's just cute. Okay, let's take a look at the next one. Gary the Snail. This is the SpongeBob BFF Hearty Meal Package. I find it weird that it's SpongeBob themed because, spoiler alert, there is a SpongeBob dedicated set. This minifigure has been seen in the Good Friends Krusty Krab line. We have this seductive snail for some reason for the image. The side says Snail Po. And let's see if I can open this because I know that Nate, who now goes by Jamie, had a hard time putting this in. But here's Gary. He is a donut. He is ridiculously huge compared to a normal Gary, which confirmed my theory that SpongeBob has been overfeeding him. There's a slime trail. There's Kelpo on the side of him for some reason. There's some slimy canned snail food. Honestly, I think out of all of the theming, this might be the worst one, solely because I don't know what it's trying to be. It's just a Gary build. Like, it's cute, but I wish the theming was better. Oh, next up is Mr. Krabs. I'm not sure if his face is new, but this torso was reused from this set, so half originality is better than no originality, I guess? Mr. Krabs comes with a Krabby Patty for $1.25 and Bobby sauce for 50 cents, and his just says Krabby Patty. First off, I love the mild Bobby sauce. Unfortunately, it's kind of blurry on my end. I don't know how to fix that. I tried cleaning my phone beforehand, but if you guys have any suggestions to help with that, comment below. Maybe I need to borrow AJ's camera, but it comes with mild Bobby sauce, and Mr. Krabs is a burger. This portion spins for some reason. Out of all of them, this looks the least edible, because there is money, there are coins. I'd be scared to eat his eye stalks. Though it is a cute build, and it does make perfect sense for Mr. Krabs, given that he runs a fast food restaurant. The only downside is that there are 2 burgers. So I wish they swapped either, spoiler alert, Spongebob or Mr. Krabs to be something more original, but that's very nitpicky. Oh shit, I almost forgot to take a look at the Gary. Okay, ice cream for $1.25, kelp shake for $2, and mayonnaise for 50 cents. There is no mayonnaise to be found here. Halfway there. We got the proper Spongebob. Again, this Spongebob has been reused. This was in the Good Friends line, and it's in here. There's like some differences between the two, but they are basically the exact same face. This also says BFF Hearty Meal Package, but it has a Krabby Patty for $1.25 and a Seafoam Soda for $1. Inside, it shows the secret formula. Speaking of which, I forgot to show the inside of Mr. Krabs. Shit, it's upside down. Let me fix that. Inside here is Pearl. It is unseeable in the original video, so it's cool to showcase it here. But here's SpongeBob as a Krabby Patty. This is an intentional reference to the original Fry Cook, where SpongeBob has a psychedelic sequence where he turns into a Krabby Patty. I'm guessing this is meant to be the Seafoam Soda. There's like a heart here. And inside, which is my personal favorite detail, it's the Best Friends Forever ring. It doesn't spin all the way, but I still like it a lot. And SpongeBob and Patrick look very stylistic here. Just for that alone, this might be my favorite. Also, the side just is fun. Okay, second to last, we get Patrick. And the Patrick I know is reused from the Good Friends 25th Anniversary Patrick build. Wait, no, not the Patrick build, the SpongeBob build. This one also has an obvious seam, just like the concession stand. I don't like that. I haven't had this issue before. Patrick says stay cool, and you'll shortly see why. Patrick is the sweet ice cream set, and it has ice cream for $1.25, kelp shake for $2, and mayonnaise for 50 cents. SpongeBob, Patrick, and Sandy as popsicles, and they say frozen. And here's the actual build. It has 100% juice, which I'm guessing is the kelp shake. It comes with a mayonnaise drink, which sounds gross. And this ice cream build is okay. Not the best, not the worst. They could have done better, but they could have done a lot worse. It's just kind of chunky looking. But it makes perfect sense for Patrick to be ice cream. And I know who the last one is. Squidward Q Tentacles. The only one I actually got to build. And again, the smiling Squidward has the same issue with the music shop, where his sculpt is frowning, but his face is smiling. Also, this is reused from the pineapple set, I'm pretty sure. But given how that's an expensive set, I will say it's cool to have that face in a cheaper one. Especially since, just like Pop Mart, these don't have any duplicates, even if you don't get the mystery. And this is the Squidward Holiday Leisure Package. It has a Krusty Dog for $1.25 and kelp shake for $2. And on the inside, it's just a clarinet. So when trying to rebuild this, the kelp shake just flew off screen, but I will showcase an image of the kelp shake from like a promotional image. Unfortunately, this is the most fragile out of all of them, especially the hot dog itself. Also, Squidward is printed here, and a background fish is printed here. I don't know what's up with that, especially since like you can't really do this. That doesn't make a lot of sense. So you're mostly going to see it from the Squidward side. But I do like the lettuce details. That is the same with the Sandy Taco. It was like this wrapper. The sticker had like a hard time making it smooth, but since it's a wrapper, I think it adds a lot of detail. And this says try new Krusty Dog. In terms of stability, this is definitely the weakest. But in terms of theming, it's okay. Like, it kind of makes sense for Squidward to be a hot dog, given there was one episode where he did dress up as one in the episode Krusty Dog, but you'd think Squidward's would be more elegant, like a souffle. Also, the side just says yummy stuff. And that was my in-depth review of the delicacy delivery box and the concession stands. Thanks again to Barweer for sponsoring this video and for sending these sets for free for me to review. And I'm sorry the first attempt turned out so blurry. What do you guys think of these sets? Do you like them? Do you hate them? Are you mixed on them? Would you want to get them? If you do, link in the subscription and feel free to comment below. And as always, it's all Sab from here.